In Mobile Legends, mastering one role will truly help you to excel in the game. But it is also important that you know how to play all roles, because it can greatly increase your chances of winning the game. And for today's video, we will teach you some tips and tricks on how to play Marksman role in a very effective way. My name is Brian, and this is Yoga Tech Gaming. The Marksman role is the most favored role in Mobile Legends. In fact, it is also my favorite. Having a long range and can deal a lot of damage is one of the reasons why most of the players love to use Marksman heroes. There are many players that are good in using Marksman heroes, but some don't know how to use them efficiently. But don't worry, we will tackle all the things that will help you to become a more efficient marksman. First is the proper preparation for a marksman. There are exactly 14 marksman heroes in the game as of now, and I will not discuss each of their preparation. By the way, preparation includes emblems, spells, and recommended builds. For the spells, I suggest that if you use marksman heroes, go for the spell that will give your hero an additional mobility, or spells that will help you to live longer or to escape like Aegis, Sprint, Purify, or Flicker. Most of the time, marksman hero will be the most targeted hero in the game because they can easily be killed. And also, if they will not kill the marksman first, it can do a lot of damage to them. So it is important that you have a spell that will help you to escape when you are being the priority target of the enemies. In the emblems, I suggest that you use Marksman emblem or an Assassin emblem. But this is not for all Marksman heroes because some of them can function in other terms. Just like Kimi can be a mage, and Roger or Yisun Shin can be a fighter. But most of the time, Marksman heroes are the ones that mostly rely on their physical damage. They can do a lot of damage to enemies by just hitting them with their normal attacks. And the reason why I also recommended the Assassin emblem is because those two roles have similar objectives in the game, and it is to damage enemies and to kill them. Also, try to understand the marksman hero that you will use. Make sure that you know the ability of your chosen hero. Some heroes' main weapon is their attack speed. Some are their critical damage. So it is important that you know it, because it will be your basis of what emblem are you gonna use, and to our next topic, on what items are you gonna use. Again, items are situational and can be changed every game according to your hero, your enemy, to your teammates, and to your game style. That's why it is important that you know your hero's capability, because it will depend on what items you are gonna use, and also to the enemies. If by chance you're not aware of its uses and you don't know what items to use, we already made videos discussing all the items. Check the link in the description box below for easier access. However, items are situational and can be an excellent advantage if you pick the right one that suits your game style. If you use heroes like Lod and Moskov, make sure that you build items that will improve their attack speed to maximize their abilities. And if you use heroes like Lit and Leslie, I suggest that you build critical items to maximize their ability that can deal a lot of critical damages. And also if you use heroes like Ranger and Kimi, make sure that you maximize their damages by building damage items. Next is the proper laning of the marksman. I recommend that whenever you use marksman hero, go to the bottom lane or in the top lane, where you can farm well with less interruption, unlike in the mid lane where most of the clash happens. Also, try to reach out to your teammate and make them assist you in the early game, because not all marksman heroes can excel in the game alone. As I said, they can easily get killed by the enemies, especially the mages and the tanks that will come from the mid lane. It is important that you farm well in the early game, because it will make you prepare for the late game where the marksman heroes will dominate the game. And lastly is the tips in playing marksman hero. First tip is to always be cautious when farming. Always remember that you can easily get killed by enemies. The most effective way of being cautious in the game is always checking the minimap. By doing this, you will know when enemies are far from you or going after you. If some of them are missing, then make sure that you go to some place that you cannot be easily ambushed. Maybe try going beside your tower or hide in the bushes. Mid lane heroes of the enemy will often rotate and find heroes that they can kill, because minion waves in the mid lane is ahead compared to the side lanes. Next tip is to focus on farming in the early game. As I said, marksman heroes will not be that effective in the early game. But time will come if you succeed on farming well in the early game, marksman heroes will overpower in the late game. Next is always lead your team when going after the Lord. Marksman heroes have great physical damage, and it will be a very big help to kill the Lord if marksman heroes will participate. It can be the difference between getting the Lord in no time or getting the Lord while enemies contesting it. Last but not the least is the proper positioning while clashing. If your enemy's lineup consists of many durable heroes and lack of burst heroes, you can be aggressive, but not to the point that you will go after them alone. But if your enemies have enough heroes that can burst you down, let your tanks be in the front line and hide in their backs. It is your advantage as a marksman because you have a long-range attacks that can damage enemies even if you are far from them. And that's it. These are just some basic tips on how to play marksman effectively. But to be good at using marksman heroes, you will definitely need more practice. I hope you learned a lot in this video, and if you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to our channel for more content, hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads, and be sure to visit yugatech.com/gaming for more news, tips, and tricks. This has been Brian, and see you again in the next one.